All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Machak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Green Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. I just finished watching the elder brother Manat Zagba's video concerning can a woman be saved if she doesn't have a husband. Okay, and he played a couple of different recordings, all right, from different elder brothers and elders, and I believe it was the elder brother Yahshua had mentioned the Book of Life, all right, and ultimately that's what I want to go into. I have a couple of precepts here. I just put in the Book of Life in the blue letter, and a few of them popped up. So let's see where we can go with that. All right, because ultimately, Book of Life. All right, ultimately, that's what matters. That's the elect are the elect because their names have been written in the Book of Life from the foundation of the earth. All right, the foundation of the world. All right, so no matter what happens, no matter what condition carnally they're in at the end of the world, their destiny, all right, or their fate is to be delivered. All right, because that's how when these death angels come out here, pursuant to Ezekiel the 9th chapter, that's how they're gonna differentiate, all right, based on who's written in the Book of Life and who's not. So at the end of the day, ultimately, even those, all right, that cleave onto the men of the Lord to get deliverance, ultimately the Lord only allowed that to happen because their names were also written in the Book of Life, which doesn't consist of just men, all right, but men, women, and children as well. Okay, because you will have women and children that will also be saved, and men that are not prophets that will also be delivered. All right. For example, when you go back to the so-called foundation of Rome, okay, when it started off, they realized they didn't have many women. All right, they didn't even have women on that land, and that's not, so you at the end of the day, you still need women at the end of the day for procreation as well. The Lord did create them to be a helpmate or help me unto us. So so what did they do? All right, they went up in there and they I believe it was called the capture of the Sabine women, something along those lines. You can read that. All right, how they went and actually basically kidnapped and stole women. Okay, because they didn't have women in their city. Okay, so in the kingdom, we're not. The Lord said what? Be fruitful and multiply. So we're not going to be out here and just just what, a bunch of men, and what kind of kingdom is that? But anyway, focusing on the Book of Life, let's go to Daniel, because the tribulation that's going to be taking place on this planet, all right, it's going to be so tremendous. All right, it's going to be insane. All right, and in order for you not to be touched, your name has to be in that Book of Life. That's not something that your actions now or your actions in the past are gonna impact or change. That was before you were even put on this earth. All right, now this is Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble. What kind of trouble? Jeremiah the 30th chapter, the 7th verse. It's a time of Jacob's trouble. All right, it says such as now. If you notice, in the news, okay, when they mention who the coronavirus is affecting the most, they'll mention Black and Latino communities. When they mention who we should focus on the most when the vaccine comes out, they'll mention Black and Latino communities. All right. So that time is definitely going to be Jacob's trouble, okay? But everybody else is going to partake of that trouble as well, with the exception of the elect. The elect are going to be in here while all that is happening, but that's why we're speaking about the Book of Life, because their names, all right, being written in there is going to give them that pass, that exemption. All right, so it says such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. So this is something very important. You better pray and hope, we all do, that our names are written in that book, man, because there's going to be a time like never before. This is going to be hell on earth. All right. That's why we say all hell breaking loose, because literally everything that can go wrong will go wrong for this place. All right, and it's all going to be used as a form and a means of judgment. Okay, very calculated judgment, like the TV show 1,000 Ways to Die. Well, Jacob's Trouble is going to be full of that. Different ways the Lord is going to take out different people and judge them, whether it's by burning or freezing or torture or rape or, cannibalism, whatever, or getting torn up by wild animals, okay, bitten by snakes, stung by scorpions, whatever. The Lord might manifest supersized scorpions out here in the streets. You never know, okay? So it's going to be a very bad time. So the only means of exemption you have is if your name is written in that pardon book or the book of life, all right? Hence the name, the book of life. So it says, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. All right, and what book is that? That's talking about the book of life. Okay, so everyone that is found written in the book are the ones that are going to be delivered. Okay, because that's how the Lord set it up. Now let's go. Okay, let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 9, verse 4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark. And we've gone into that word mark many times. All right, but it's going into a mark of exemption. Okay, upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. All right, now that mark of exemption, all right, is going to be upon those men that the Lord put it on. But what did the scriptures say? In Isaiah, it says, a man shall be as an hiding place from the wind. Okay, so these women are going to get sheltered through a man, but for you to even find the right man who's going to be willing to protect you, that's going to be from the Lord. All right, the Most High is gonna put the spirit on whatever brother it is. All right, let's say there's a woman, okay, who the Lord has already predestined to be delivered. He might pair you up with somebody in Jacob's Trouble, just as an example. All right, and he might put the spirit on that whoever it is to willingly take you in and protect you. Okay, and then boom, just like that, you went from being by yourself to now you with a brother. And whether the Lord has blessed that brother with spiritual power or angels protecting him or however the Lord set it up, okay, you're gonna be delivered. All right, so if your name is in the book of life, all right, you're gonna be delivered regardless of how the Lord does it. But just know at the end of the day, you're going to be delivered. Why? Because you have to be. Okay, according to prophecy, somebody got to be delivered. Okay, so we're gonna go to Philippians chapter 4, verse 3. It says, I entreat thee also, true yokefellow, help those women which labored with me in the gospel, and Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers whose names are in what? In the book of life. Now, they weren't, all right, Paul said what? They helped him, okay, and they were his fellow laborers, okay, and they were what? They were written in the book of life. So that means that what? They're of the elect. So those same people who were with Paul, Luke, Gaius, I believe that was his name. All right, one of them. All these. Damn, what's the name of these two? Boy, I know it was a man and his wife. I just forgot their name. Priscilla and it'll come to me. But yeah, all these people, guess what? They put in work. The scriptures say the Lord is not unrighteous as to forget our labor of love, which we have labored towards his name. So the work they put in back then, when they come back in this time, this day and age, which they're here today, all right, Paul had women that helped him. He also had men that were with him, that provided for him, that guided him, and in the sense of ministering onto him, all right, not necessarily teaching him, but providing things for his needs. So the Lord is going to deliver them in today's day and age, because like Paul said, they're written also in the book of life. All right, so I got two more precepts and we can close it out. This is Revelation 13. All right, and let's go down verse 8. It says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. All right, who's that? Who is that they're going to worship? The beast. Okay. Let's start at verse 4. And they worship the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worship the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. And we've gone over it. The beast back then was the Roman Empire, and today is the European system. All right, the European Union, NATO, the EU. All right, which they want to make it to. They want to really switch power ultimately to the United Nations. All right, but nonetheless, that's who it is today. So it says, and there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And they do that constantly. All right. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All right. Ultimately, that's Esau. And verse 8, it says, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So those that take the mark of the beast, those that worship this system, those that give in, their names are not written in the book of life. Those that the Lord said he will keep in the hour of temptation, they are written in the book of life. So verse 8, and all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, who? The beast, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb. All right. So those whose names are written in the book of life are not going to worship this beast. When you go to Revelation, the 15th chapter, it talks about how they got the victory over the beast, because what? Their names were written in the book of life. All right. So in closing, let's get the ultimate consequence for those that are not written in the book of life. And this is by predestination. This is Revelation 20 and 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. All right. So right now we gonna find out. All right, who's in the book of life? Okay, because the Lord did say, then shall they be known whom I chosen. So even before we get on them chariots, you'll know who the Lord's chosen are by how he deals with them, how he provides for them, how he protects them. Okay, in the time of Jacob's trouble. Okay, the Lord said, my servants shall eat. Oh, best believe you're gonna know who his servants are. All right, but those that are not a part of his servants, that's why all hell is going to break loose on the earth to purge and deal with you. All right, and bring righteousness and refresh the earth and set up the kingdom all new and fresh again. Okay, so that's what we're looking forward to. Anyway, with that, I hope this was edifying unto the elect. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Until next time, Shalom.